Oof. Tell you. Sometimes you choose the Blues, right?
Yeah.
Look, boys, I know we're all feeling this loss. Everybody is in the community. But so help me God. If you say one cuss word on today's show, I'm going to unleash my fury upon thee like a sumo wrestler at a Sizzler, like a Labrador and a Rottweiler at a Weenie.
Come on, Bruce, just cut us some slack here, man. I mean, we just lost this game. Nobody saw this coming, all right?
I saw this coming a mile away.
Oh, you did not, Paul
I did
Wayne.
too. Total crap game. Total trap game. We were weak in game 1 and weaker in game 2. A blind man could have seen this loss coming.
Really? That's funny, because I think the only thing you were looking at last week was Crystal Slater trying to be a friend in her low places, huh? You could have cared less about the dadgum game. You're too busy trying to mbappa her mau mau.
Now, how dare you? I sat there and wept in the press box just as hard as you, and you know it. I bleed purple and brown just as much as you, Dwayne.
Fake tears,
All right.
fake news.
All right, boys. Yeah. I cannot have a house divided heading into week 3. Let's straighten up. Let's fly right. We need a united front. We need a cohesive show. Remember, state's the prize. It's early in the season, a lot of ball to be played. I mean, come on. It's still warm out. Not even cool. Not even at fall yet. You guys got to get your minds right and buck up for this show. Cannot have my bell cows bopping heads.
You're right, Bruce. Look, I'm sorry, Paul Wayne. I got too much Paultom in me, man. You know that.
Apology accepted, Dwayne. This loss is hitting both of us hard. I couldn't even finish my Hungry Man chicken fried steak last night, and you know how much I love my Hungry Man.
I do.
Hey guys, 1 minute to air.
Not now, Brant. Can't you see we're mourning here, man? Come on.
Brantley, run the music and keep that lip zipped. Boys, have a good show, and remember, there's no I in team. Now let's sack up and have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Bruce.
Appreciate it, Bruce.
You know, my name is first on the show for a reason, right?
How many state titles you got again?
Yeah. You were a 4-year letterman on a technicality, and you know it, all right? If Mr. Shambly would have passed Mike Middleman in his world history class, you wouldn't have even sniffed the field, all right? Much less played.
A title's a title, baby. You can look at this hand, big dude.
Yeah, well, you're missing a 3rd ring, and I think your 3 ex-wives would have something to say about that.
10 seconds.
Shut up, Brent!
You're listening to The First Down with Dwayne and Paul Wayne on QWIL, The Quill.
Welcome, one and all, to The First Down with Dwayne and Paul Wayne here on QWIL, The Quill. I am Dwayne Applebottom.
And I'm Paul Wayne T.
And folks, if you ain't wearing black today, put it on. Get a veil. Get a dark top hat. Maybe a dark cape. Carry a black cane if you need to. You know, it's a pretty dark day out there in Pine Nation today. Kind of like one of those somber days where a respected member of the community passes away. You know, and in a lot of ways, some things did pass away, Paul Wayne. I am, of course, talking about our hopes and dreams of an undefeated season going away gently into that good night as our Paultom City Porcupines fall to the North Lake Merrill Dragons last week.
Oh, is it my turn to talk now?
Oh, you looking for a green light?
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah.
Folks, this game was bad. We definitely could have played better.
Stellar insight there, partner.
Thank you.
That dynamite analysis can only find here on the First Down. Good job. A dark, dark day for the history books, and a game that I'm sure will haunt Paultom City for the years to come.
Yeah, I can't just put into words how depressed I am, folks. This feels like my second divorce all over again.
Yeah, and speaking of messy separation, I think it's time for the UIL to part ways with that officiating crew that worked that game. I mean, what an absolute abomination to football. We had 14 penalties in that game, one of which was against our bench for an argument between two parents that spilled over onto the sideline.
Yeah, there was a domestic dispute with Red Bartleby and his wife's lover in the third quarter that unfortunately turned into a Donnybrook on the sideline, and that cost us 15 yards and our only chance of tying up the game. There ain't no get-back coach that could have stopped that from coming down on us.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be breaking that down later on the show, so we'll put a pin in that for now. But, of course, it didn't help that Rob Gonzalez got another unsportsmanlike penalty for grabbing his unmentionables again. But this was different because he only did it to show disapproval for the two face masks that the refs flat out missed earlier.
Totally justified, in my opinion.
Absolutely justified. And it's a good thing that the refs weren't looking up into that press box because I was doing the same thing. I mean, we were going 90s era DX up there.
Yeah, I do think the fans got a suck it chance not too shortly after that. And, of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the pass interference call on Pablo Coffey in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and we had the Dragons in a 4th and long, and Pablo Coffey goes in to cover their fullback on a little waggle pass, somehow gets an interference call, and sets them up for the winning drive of the game. I mean, it is, Paul Wayne, it's the worst call since I think probably Rocky the Bodson got screwed by that ref, James Thompson. You remember him back in the state semifinals 01? Yeah.
Yeah, James the Shame Thompson, as they called him. He hadn't been back to Paultom since. And good riddance, I say.
That's right. He knows better. Uh-huh.
Yeah, long story short, total ref show. You know, if I wanted to watch zebras act like buttholes, I would have gone to Paultom City Zoo.
Yeah, and that does remind me, folks, Paultom City Zoo will be having their annual Lizard Fest at the Pantalone Springs Convention Center next Friday at noon. Tickets are on sale now, and you can actually get a 10% discount online if you enter in the code Pine Nuts at checkout. That's Pine Nuts. So be sure to go online and support a good cause with the Paultom City Zoo.
Yeah, Dwayne, I think it might be time to open up the Opine line and hear some eulogies for this year's season.
Yeah, you're right. Let's take a break, and whenever we come back, we'll be opening up the Opine line, getting down to the nitty-gritty of last week's loss, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Where's the best place in town for friends, fun, and fried food? Why, Catfish, oh, Holy's, of course. We're still proudly serving Paultom City with the best fried food in town. And things are really heating up, because we got chicken now. Due to complaints from neighboring businesses, we've had to bring our Pick-a-Chick chickens indoors, which just means more fun for the whole family. Join us before the football game for Foul Fridays, where you get to chase down any bird of your choice in our restaurant. Mamas and daddies alike will get the chance to run block for their youngins as they chase down the yard bird of their choosing. And as if that ain't fun enough, every third Thursday of the month, we have tableside cockfighting. It's blood sport the whole family can enjoy. Stick around after when the losing rooster gets turned into our famous chicken fritters. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail feathers over to Catfish Holy's, right by Route 3 by the water treatment plant. Catfish Holy's. We got chicken now.
And now the Catfish O'Holy's Opine Line on QWIL, The Quill.
Welcome back to the First Down. Dwayne and Paul Wayne here. It's about that time we go to the phones and open up that Opine line. Today's Opine line is brought to you by Red's Phosphate Parlor and Preserves and Fried Pie Emporium. That's right, they've got fried pies at Red's now. And folks, if you ain't had them, get them. I mean, they're truly to die for. They got 5 flavors: apple, peach, blackberry, coconut, and Denny Moore beef stew.
That one right there is my favorite.
Yeah, so rip on into Red's, get you a phosphate and a fried pie, and have a good time. That's Red's Phosphate Parlor on the corner of Main. Okay, well, let's get to those phones and see what people have to say about last week's loss. Brent, who do we got on the line?
It's Brett, and first up we have Shane from Boat.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right. Shane from Boat, you're on the Reds Phosphates Opine line. What's your opine?
Well, if it ain't old Dwayne the Pineapple Bottom. Tell me, Dwayne, what's the difference between a Paultom porcupine and a commuter in Chicago?
I don't know, Shane. You tell me.
Nothing. They both take the L.
Folks, for those of you who ain't familiar, that is Shane Peartop on the line, former running back for the Boat Tuggers and just an abominable human being.
That's former state champion running back there, Bubba. Tuggers taught y'all a thing or two in the playoff game, eh, Dwayne?
Yeah. Brag about all you want, Peartop. Y'all know y'all cheated.
Cheated? Hell, we didn't need to cheat against y'all. All we need to do is run the option to your side and is off to the races.
Bull hockey! Y'all flooded that field so much we were up there up to our goddamn knees in mud. My daddy said he ain't seen a marsh like that since Nam.
They don't call our stadium the Marina for nothing. Y'all knew what you was getting into. Ain't our fault you didn't spray your shoes down with Pam like the rest of us.
All right, history aside, you got an opine or what?
Yeah, I got one. It's this caller's opine that the Porcupines are looking at a long road to hoe this year. Hell, y'all might not even make it out of district. You keep pooping the bed.
Well, you may be right about that, but hey, I mean, we don't have to like it. All right, cut that call, Brent.
Vote.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's a real turd in the punch bowl. And for the record, Boat did cheat, all right? That field was damn near a protected wetland, and their team had so much Pam sprayed on them they could have baked biscuits in their shoulder pads.
And not to mention the fact that their receivers had enough stickum on their hands to honk off a pod of dolphins.
Can we say that?
Who knows? But here's what I do know, Dwayne. There's three things I despise in this world.
Here we go.
Bicycle riders on the road.
Yeah, this ain't Europe, all right? Buy a pickup. Be a man.
People interrupting me.
Wait your turn. Take a number.
And third.
Next on the line, we have Rondane Puig.
Damn it, Bert.
Uh-oh. Rondane, what's your opine?
Am I on?
Yes, you're on, dadgummit. What's your damn opine?
I can't hear me on the radio.
You ain't gonna hear you on the radio, Rondane. You're on the dadgum air. What's your opine?
Well, boys, they played bad.
Care to elaborate on that, Rondane?
Yeah, well, we could have played better. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on. I'm just trying to process that nugget of wisdom you just threw at us.
Yeah, outside of what we all know was a lackluster performance, Rondane, I mean, you got anything you want to see improved going into the next week's game, or?
Well, we got to try to win.
Come on, Brett, man. Brett, cut this fool off. He's wasting our time.
No, hold on there, Brent. How do you suppose we win, Rondane?
Well, sir, Double Shot Coffee is clearly a rushing linebacker and should not be left out on an island, while a standout cornerback Balmain is stud man coverage. Safety Stap Drinkwater needs to always be in a coverage zone over the top to give that washout Aiden McMurray all the help he can get. And on offense, our center Elijah Renshaw is clearly a pulling center in an offense designed for zone blocking. Peyton Hurst is a pass-catching tight end in a blocker's body, and Rod Gonzalez needs to speed up a half tick on his pitches because he's causing hashtag Johnson a hitch in his giddy-up on every option he sees.
That has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard on this show.
Well, I think that's about as good as a button as we can get on any segment there. I'm going to come out and say that Rondane is our caller of the week by default. I refuse to give to anyone from Boat, so Rondane, if you want to stay on the line, you're gonna get a $10 coupon to Red's Phosphate.
Am I still on?
When we come back, we'll be talking through our Pantalones Springs Resort dadgum moment of the game, which, of course, was the brouhaha that cost us that 15-yard penalty and really started the decline for your Porcupines. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Looking to sharpen your skill before hunting season? Trying to find that hidden warrior inside you before some big city hood kicks in your door and threatens your loved ones? Planning for the end of the world when the dead shall rise from the earth and walk amongst us once again? Well, come on down to Taggart Acquired Shooting Range and Gun Emporium. I'm Keith Taggart, and I've been proudly serving the great city of Paultom for over 15 non-consecutive years. We're a one-stop shop for all your firearm needs. Rifles? We got them. Shotguns? You know it. Working Final Fantasy VIII replica revolvers with a blade at the end? Come find out. Take full advantage of our try before you buy policy. And when you're ready to buy, don't forget about our Not My Business bundle for speedy checkout. We get it. You're in a rush to go do whatever it is you're going to do. Not our business. Our business is making sure you, the customer, is satisfied. So come see us here at Taggart Acquired, where every visit is a bullseye.
And now it's time for the dadgum moment of the week.
Welcome back, folks. As I mentioned going into break, we are going to be going over the dadgum moment of the game, brought to you by the fine folks at Pantalone Springs Resorts. Tired of spending an arm and a leg on vacation? Bring the family down to Pantalone Springs Resort, where the cool, clear waters have been quenching travelers for decades. Rest your head in the luxury Chuck Norris suite, almost good enough for Chuck himself. Get pampered in their state-of-the-art spa, complete with a milk bath, mud mask, and a complimentary glass of the Brisket Rosé from the Pantalone Springs Winery. I mean, they've got all the fixings for one hell of a staycation, folks, so ditch those plane tickets and head on over to the Pantalone Springs. It'll blow your pantalones off.
Well, Dwayne, this dadgum moment was a dadgum tragedy. And to recap for all our listeners out there, we're talking about a 15-yard penalty that spawned from a fight in the crowd that made its way onto our sideline during the third quarter between Red Bartleby of Red's Phosphate and some fella who we later found out was his wife's lover.
Yeah. Red stumbled upon his wife and her new beau as he was selling raffle tickets for Project Graduation, and wouldn't you know it, they exchanged some choice words, and then got into a bit of a scrap, broke through the chain link, and landed them square in the middle of our medical tent on the sideline.
Yeah, and now we got a little recording from that moment of the game, and just to show you how truly chaotic it was, we're going to play a little bit for you right here.
4 minutes left in the third quarter. Paultom trails 24-17. It is 2nd and 5 for the North Lake Dragons at their own 15. And a handoff to North Lake running back Donnie the Yanni, and it appears he's been stopped for a loss of 8 yards.
That's a big-time stop right there
Yeah.
for the Pines. You know, everyone knows Donnie Yanni lulls his opponents to sleep. We weren't caught napping
No,
there.
we were not. And speaking of lulling you to sleep, for the best box springs in town, check out Gonzalez Box Springs. Gonzalez Box Springs located.
Dwayne, I hate to interrupt you, but it appears we got a bit of a kerfuffle on the Paultom sidelines.
Oh,
and
my God.
unless I'm mistaken, it doesn't look like any of the players are involved.
No, yeah. Let's see if we can get some up-close play-by-play of what's going on. I'm going to kick it to our sideline reporter, Bert Slater.
It's Brett, and I'm in the studio next.
Come on, man. You're supposed to be down there.
Was Dwayne, unless I'm seeing things, that is definitely Red Bartleby's signature phosphorus red trucker cap. And the gentleman he appears to be in fisticuffs with looks to be about a third his age.
Yeah, at least. They are really getting to it right now, folks. We're seeing some bows being thrown. Oh, dodge it there, Red. There you whoa. Whoa. This is starting to get out of control, folks. He's stumbling
away
down.
from that tent.
Get out of there. Oh, good Lord. They just fell over the chain link fence, and oh my God. They just took out the injury tent. Balmain is in the injury tent.
You gotta be kidding me. They're throwing a flag out there.
Come on.
They're calling Paultom for a sideline infraction.
Absolute hogwash, folks. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The ref screws us again.
A Paultom tradition at this point. You know, Paultom is on the comeback trail, and the refs decide they don't want the boys in purple and brown to win.
Absolute trash.
Yeah, damn near hurt Balmain getting his knee taped up in that tent.
Yeah, now we cut the audio right before this, but what may have egged the fight on was the band chiming in with Inner Sandman once Red Bartleby and his wife's boy toy got squared up on the field to throw hands.
Yeah, and look, I'm no stranger to public arguments, but that one should have been a 5-yard penalty max. Definitely not an automatic first down.
No, absolutely not. I mean, and there wasn't even a clear winner in the fight. So, I mean, with the lack of a resolution, it should have just been a sideline warning.
Yeah,
you know?
and Red's an older guy, too. His wife's lover should have known better than to fight back against an octogenarian.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like the penalty wasn't so much for the fight itself and more for the disrespect against the greatest generation, you know?
Yeah, when I saw him there, Dwayne, I really just thought the Bartlebys were on the lowdown, maybe doing a little bit of swinging.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out old Red doesn't have that much pressure in his old fire hose.
Yeah, could have fooled me, too. I thought he was fully aware.
Yeah, who knew phosphates affected your prostate?
Not I. And with how much I consume from Reds, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little worried myself.
Well, thanks to this big mess, Red's season tickets have been revoked by the Booster Club. It's a damn shame, but that's how it had to be.
Yeah, and folks, this is a big deal. I mean, a big deal. He's been a season ticket holder for 60 years, so this is not a decision that was made lightly. But fair is fair. So now he is expected to appeal that decision at the end of the school board meeting next week. So we'll be doing a live spot down there to hear the verdict, but I'm honestly not holding my breath.
Yeah, me neither. But here's hoping for you, Red.
Yeah, well, that about does it for the Dadgum Moment of the Week, brought to you by the Pantalone Springs Resort. And that will also do it for us on the first down. Looking forward to next week, where we are on the road again against Edwards Christian. We'll be taking on the Saints at 7:30, and I tell you what, Paul Wayne, I sure hope the Lord above is not looking down too hard on that game because we need a win.
Yeah, and also my band, the Eckridge Boys, will be playing at the pep rally before the game on Friday. It'd really be good if people show up this year. Last week, we only had Ron Dane Puig in the crowd, so any support by anyone else would mean a lot to me.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm fully expecting everyone to come out and support Paul Wayne as well.
Yeah, especially you, Miss Crystal Slater.
Yeah, all right. We'll see about that. All right. Thanks for listening, y'all. As always, I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Paul Wayne.
Go Pines.
Thanks for tuning in to the First Down with Dwayne and Paul Wayne on QWIL The Quill.